Hi, how you doing there, folks? I'm making this video as a result of what I saw near Chambers Street and from what I've been hearing in the news these past days about these Tea Party demonstrations. Supposedly James Pinkerton, America Foundation, and it's like this whole thing that Rush Limbaugh is organizing against Barack Obama. Well, folks, these people that are in these demonstrations do not have the facts straight. The whole plan is Barack Obama is going to give a tax cut to everyone making under $200,000 a year. People making between $200,000 a year, $250,000 a year, their taxes will stay the same. The people making more than that, their taxes will go up, and they could afford it because they're making more. Now we could also talk about State Assemblyman Sheldon Silver's plan to make millionaires start paying more. Well, and New York State needs bigger revenues and to get people that are making under $40,000 a year, or well under. It will be like people making under $100,000 a year would pay a little bit less. That's the way it should be. In New York State, people are taxed at the same rate as millionaires, and that's not right, folks. And you're telling me Madonna, Alex Rodriguez, and these people are going to move out of New York City because of that? No, folks, come on. Haven't you seen the newspaper yesterday? Madonna bought a house that she absolutely wanted for $35 million. She paid more than 16 million over what it's worth. And basically, these people are in New York City because they want to be here. They're here because it's about prestige and all that. And Madonna, she wanted that house so bad, but she paid 35 million more than what it was worth. And the owner probably didn't even want to sell it, so she pretty much was like this, so much that she paid 16 million more, like as if she was in an auction, you know. So folks, these millionaires are not going to move out of New York. That's all BS. They're here because they want to be here. And they can afford to pay a little bit more and actually don't mind paying a little bit more because they got so much. They're pretty much what can we do to help? The people that they're in the poverty level, and people that are under the poverty level are having taxes deducted out of their checks, and these are people that should pay nothing. Nothing, folks. The people at the top that should pay more, and the people making less should pay less. And that's what Barack Obama's policies is all about, folks. These Tea Party demonstrations don't make no sense, and Bush did nothing when it came to the economy. Bush did absolutely nothing, folks. Now we got a president who's done more in the past 3 months than Bush did in 8 years of office. And so much so that even Bush probably, when he watches the news, is thinking, finally, we got a president. I wasn't the president. I was just occupying the White House. And that's basically what Bush did. First of all, I'm going to review some of Bush's idiotic things that he did when he was in the White House. A month before 9/11 happened, it was around August 14th. I read it in the New York Times. It came out in the Saturday edition that Al Qaeda made a threat that they were going to hijack aircraft and crash them into buildings. Guess what, folks? Bush did nothing. Nothing, man. Nothing. Guess what happened? 9/11, it happened. If I was the president after a threat like that came in, I would have had military on every single aircraft to make sure that did not happen. Bush did nothing. Nothing, folks. Cyrus, after we knocked over Saddam Hussein, he's got to be a meathead to think that he goes and makes this speech, we won. All of a sudden, all these insurgents come in and everything. The first thing we should have did was close the border between Iraq and Syria, between Iraq and Iran, and and between Iraq and well, between Iraq and Turkey to stop its insurgents from coming in. Guess what, folks? We didn't do that. We didn't have enough troops there to run a country like that. After taking down Saddam Hussein's whole government, we should have had at least 250,000 troops to do that job. We don't have any more than 100,000. And guess what, folks? As a result of all the chaos there, oil futures shot high and high, and we got a record $3.65 for regular unleaded gas at the pumps. Guess who's the oil man in the White House? Bush and Cheney. And this is all done. I know this is all. I have a good feeling he made sure that there was enough troops there to keep Iraq from falling to the insurgents, but that there would be not enough there in order to ensure this constant chaos, in order to get that high price for a barrel of oil. That's what happens when you have a oil man in the White House running things. And we got it, a record $3.65 for a gallon of gas, folks. Who would have thought this would ever happen? It happened with Bush, and he refused. When the price of oil was high, he refused to release any oil from the oil reserves to get the price down. All right, folks. But basically, I think you get the picture. We finally got a president there that's for us. On the Bush infrastructure went down. You got Hurricane Katrina. 2 years before Hurricane Katrina happened, the Army Corps of Engineers asked for money to strengthen those levees. Bush said no. You know the aftermath. Another example is what happened at Tabor White House. What happened at Tabor White House is with this elevator that malfunctioned, stopped in between floors. They asked for funding to get these elevators fixed 2 years before that. Bush said no. The aftermath was that little baby Jacob fell to his death in between floors. And those in New York City know the story because it was on the news, it was in the headlines. Alright, folks. We got a good president. To get to the punchline, we got a good president. The country's finally going to be headed on the right track. And another reason why this economic downturn happened was because, and why the bank failures happened, was because that necessitated needing these stimuluses was because of Bush's free trade agreement with China. We lost thousands of jobs. Factories closing like mad in Ohio, New York, the New York City area. But we know there's hardly no garment manufacturing being done anymore in New York. You go to the fashion district, that's only a shadow of itself. That's where everything's being made now, folks. Everything's being made in China, folks. That's the reason why our economy is falling apart, and why our economy is like this. You know, as far as people, and then these people that lost their jobs in these factories that were making 35 to 50,000 a year. These are the people that couldn't pay their mortgages. We need to put tariffs. This is how it should be, folks. Grids that retail for up to $40. Keep them being made in China, because they can make them better. These cheap grids, in order so they continue being retailed at $40 or under. Grids that retail for over that, we need to put tariffs on. Get these grids made here again. Get these jobs back here again. The factories, like manufacturing air conditioners. We need to get more U.S. made parts put in cars that are sold here. That's how we're going to get our economy back on track.